Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Good to be back. I got about 40 laps of practice in leading up to this, so we will see how embarrassing I will be tonight. I'm actually running one of the SSR free setups. So the SSR free Volusia set, that's what I'm going to be running tonight. So, I have not been in a winged sprint car since last week in NARC. Other than a couple of little, practices for pro, like doing some testing, but that's it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. Yep, good luck. No. I'll try it. I mean, it's not going to make me any slower. Okay. Let's pop that out. There we go. All right. Let's say our prayers early tonight. We're gonna need some luck. We're definitely gonna need some luck. Twelve, 9. It's only 3 minutes. Okay. No. Don't want to save changes. Oh, man. I gotta say, I missed you guys. I definitely missed you guys. It was, I had fun in Mexico. It was good to spend time with the family. But, oof, I was bored. I was really, really bored. It was a long 3 weeks. Long 3 weeks. So, not having internet or nothing. So, and then today was absolutely just crazy because when I so the day that I left was what, the 16th. So yeah, we left the 16th. So technically the 15th. We left the 15th at night at like 9 o'clock at night or something. But we But I don't have my trading paints on. Um, I had ordered a ton of camera equipment, video production equipment, stuff like that. So I got a new Canon M50, and then I got another camera. I got a Canon EOS R. I get the EOS R. I get EOS RP. Excuse me, the EOS RP. Because I was gonna get the EOS R, but dude, it's like a $2,000 camera, and so I was like, well, instead of getting one super expensive camera, I'll get like but I was like, instead of getting like one super expensive camera that's good, I'll just get like, I mean, one really good. I'll just get like two good cameras. So anyways, so I'd ordered lenses. I mean, just a ton of stuff. And all of that came while I was gone, right? Like, not only that, the little bit of internet that I had while I was in Mexico. What is going on here? That thing is glitching like crazy. Did you guys see that? It is doing it again. What's going on? There it goes again. What the hell? Why is it doing that? So anyways, I ordered all that stuff and it all came while I was gone. So today, this morning, I was going through all of that stuff. And unfortunately, also last night when we were coming back, one of our family dogs died. So that obviously sucked. So I had to go take care of that today. I had to go bury him. And then of course, you know, the heater went out in the house, so I had to go do that. It's just been nonstop all day long. So it was about 45 minutes before the session I finally sat down to get some practice in. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. We might be done early tonight in the sprint cars. We might have to go run an official race before we go do the big blocks. Doing what shit? Oh. What's up, Zach? I missed you too, buddy. USMCET. Thanks for the videos. Got my first win this week. Nice, man. Right on. That's awesome, dude. Glad to hear it. Yeah, the holidays were good, Kep. They were good. So yeah, it was fun, man. It was cool. You know, it's just you know, I was in Mexico. I mean, you know what I mean? I was in Mexico, and like I was telling the guys earlier, like most people think of Mexico and they're like, you know, they're thinking like Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, you know, like on the beach, you know, drinking margaritas with senoritas, you know, that type of thing, and that, no. Or they think like Tijuana, like border town, and it's, no, it's nothing like that. It's completely different. So, see, I don't know what's going on with this. This thing's glitching like crazy, and my system's not doing anything. That makes me think that it's an iRacing issue and not a me issue. Because everything in my system is good to go right now. Nothing's hot or yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. So yeah, it was cool, man. It was just there was a lot of just sitting around doing nothing, like a lot of nothing. And after my first, like, we do not reset. After like a week of just sitting around relaxing, no, that's awesome. But yeah, I was like, dude, I gotta figure out something to do. I was losing it. So I was definitely glad to come back last night. Definitely glad to come home. My wife wasn't. My wife would stay there she would stay there a while, you know. That's her home. Even though she's been here in America now longer than she was in Mexico, that's still her home. She still spent the first 14 years of her life there. It's still her home. She still loves it. I mean, she has a ton of family down there. And like where she's from, you know, she lives in like, you can't even call it a town. It's like a village. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's what we would think of as like a village where you've got these like remote pockets of houses and maybe a couple of little stores. And when I say a store, I don't mean like a grocery store, right? Like, I'm talking like a mini mart, right? Like, and when I say mini mart, I mean mini, like small. They're tiny. They're like closets. It would, an Arco AM PM would look like a super Walmart compared to most of the stores. Like, that's what it would look like. So they're just like these little pockets everywhere outside of the big cities. And you know where she's at, where she grew up in this little area called Churancio. It's, dude, like 95% of the people there are her family. Like, it's her family. Like, if you live in that area, you're related to everybody else. And it's, you know, and the 5% that aren't related probably are somehow, they just don't know. Like, it's like that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's crazy. So, yeah, thanks, Cap. We're doing, me and Keith are doing another episode tomorrow that I'll be putting up, and we're gonna be doing we're doing a Chili Bowl draft. So, we're gonna each pick 5 drivers in the Chili Bowl, and basically we're gonna take their finishes on the final night, right? Because they got the prelims, and then the final. It sets everything up for the final night. And whoever got the best overall, you know, average, you know, whatever, wins. I mean, you're not going to win anything, but it's just a kind of a different way that we can like look at it, because there's like 300, there's almost 400 drivers registered for it this year. It's crazy. So yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun, man. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, the more the more that me and Keith do it together, the better. It's getting better and better every episode. Nathan, well, I must be in Heat 4. I must be in Heat 4. I hadn't even looked. I was not even paying attention. I This is, like I said, this is the first time I've been in a wing sprint car since the last NARC wing sprint car race. I haven't touched these things. I have zero desire to, until they fix this wonky until they. I have zero desire to do it. I'm running the SSR free setup tonight. That's what I'm running. I threw that in, and that's what I'm running tonight. So I'm like, whatever. Devin, my podcast is on everything. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iTunes, whatever they call it now, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn. You can go also to like Podbean, which is the broadcaster hosting service that I use, and just go to them and listen to it. So yeah, it's on everything. Just look up 3 Wide in the Middle. I recommend Spotify for most people. Spotify, if you're on Apple, obviously Apple Podcasts. And then if you're not Apple, then, you know, Spotify is usually the best. Zach, I am going to pick Ryland, but don't say nothing. I'm going to pick Ryland. I am going to pick Ryland. I had a lot of time to look through the driver's list while I was in Mexico. I had a lot of time to look through the driver's list. I wanted to pick one dark horse driver. And there was about 4 or 5 that I had, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick Ryland. And not just because he's on the team, but I was genuinely impressed with how he ran at Gateway. You know, and I've heard people like, oh, well, there was only 22 cars. Whatever, man. Like, to go from the back to 10th or 11th like he did at a track like that, like, that's not easy to do, man. It's not. So, I think he has a legitimate shot to. If he makes the B main on Saturday night, like, that's a feat. That's such a strong showing for, like, your first Chili Bowl. Like, I mean, keep in mind, some of the best drivers in the world don't get past the C main because there's just so many cars, you know what I mean? So, I think he has a legit shot to make the B main on Saturday night. And, like, if he does that, that's an incredible run, man. Incredible. Nathan, I don't know. There's like 10 episodes, 8 episodes or something like that. I started it off by myself. And I did a episode with Keith. We were talking about sprint cars and stuff. He was just on as a guest. And the episode was awesome. And I just kind of got tired of talking by myself. You know, like, it's just so much, not just easier, but just more fun. I just, you know, that was the whole reason I started the podcast, was so I could talk racing. And now I can talk it with Keith, you know what I mean? And obviously Keith's cool, you know, he's my buddy here on sim racing, but I mean, Keith is also someone who, you know, he ran non-wing sprint cars. Like, he was back in Indiana running these things and stuff. So it was like, hey, man, you want to do this with me? And he was like, hell yeah. So yeah, that was how we started doing it. And so we've done the last, I don't know, 4 episodes now. We just went to, right now it's every other week, just because racing is kind of slow right now. But once we get to, you know, Dirt Car Nationals, Daytona 500, you know, NASCAR kicks off. Once we get to like February, then we'll go back to one a week, once a week. So every week, I mean. So Good luck, Zach. Yeah, I know who Tanner Holmes is. Well, Devin, we are going to have some guests on there. We are. Um, um, we we've already talked about it. Sorry, they're talking. So we are going to have guests. Obviously, like Keith actually said. Keith actually, like I said, ran with those guys. He knows a ton of those USAC guys. So, um, so he's obviously got connections and stuff like that. So we've talked about him getting some of his USAC buddies on. I also have some connections through some sponsors and marketing and stuff like that that actually work with some really big, whoa, that was bad, really big guys, and I mean like big guys. We're talking like, look, you know, World of Outlaw late model drivers and stuff like that. So the warm-up. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Whoa. That was freaking luck. Dude, I'm so horrible right now. It's not even funny. Yeah, but I don't it's a good thing he passed me. I didn't deserve to go to the feature. That was a horrible run. That was a horrible run. It was only luck that I was even in that spot. Like, I did not deserve to go to the feature. That was horrible. I had to set up a sprint car video, but I had one question: wing position. I see some guys move it way back before the race. Does that do anything? So the more you move the wing back, Metro, it's just the more downforce you put on the rear, okay? Position with angle is going to determine not just where or how much downforce, but where the downforce is. So for example, if you have, so first of all, once you move the wing past like -5, it's going to increase the angle, okay? But let's say you have the wing at 20 degrees, right? Flat, which is like where I had it. So as I move that wing back, the downforce is going to be much more on the rear because it's flatter. And the way that a wing works it's a centerfoil. So most people think like, oh, the air hits it and pushes it down. No, that's not the way that it works. What happens is that air goes over the wing because you have two different surfaces, two different length surfaces. What it does is it creates a high and low pressure. That's what it causes, a sucking motion, like it pulls it down. So think of an airplane wing flipped upside down, right? Airplane wings create lift, these create downforce. That's all it is. So if it's flatter and you move it back, it's just going to be sucking it down more on the rear. Now, let's say you actually increase the angle, but then you don't move it back as much. Let's say you keep it at like 4. That'll keep the downforce more centered on the car, which can give you a more balanced feel. But because it's got more angle, it can create more drag, which can slow you down on the straightaways. So it's really a balancing act, and it's mostly about comfort and control. Whatever's going to give you the best feeling car. When the track is slick, man, it's all about comfort and control. That's what it's about. People can sit here and talk about, oh, you got to do X, Y, and Z to be fast. No, you don't. You need to be able to be smooth and consistent lap after lap. That's all there is to it. Look at the heat race that I just ran. I was not consistent. I was horrible, right? Like, just horrible. When I went up to the top that last quarter, I didn't do that because, like, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be fast line. I'm going to block him or something. Like, my car started sliding out, and so I just let the car go that way instead of me pitching it and getting it sideways, right? Like, I was not consistent. I was not good. And that heat race track, it's not like it's not feature slick, right? So it's going to be way, way worse. So it's all about being smooth and consistent, man. The best thing to do is to just play with those angles, and just see what feels good to you. Because there's a lot of people, they'll send me messages. They'll be like, hey, man, I keep moving my wing back, and my car's loose, and I move it back, and the more I move it back, it just gets worse and worse. It just gets more and more loose. Well, actually, the car's not loose. It's tight. You got the wing back so far that you're having to break it loose to get the thing to turn. So it's just a balancing act, man. That's the thing. Just balance that thing out. Been away for so long, I don't feel at home in SSR anymore. Oh, really, Devin? You're always welcome. You know that, man. I've been doing so much asphalt stuff, dude. You know what I mean? I hardly even... If it wasn't for NARC, I would not be really doing much dirt except the non-wing stuff. I am looking forward to tomorrow. Thank God it's non-wing Thursday tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Paul, no, I gotta keep it on the leader because I'm also adminning. That's why I have it like that. I'm also adminning. So I just keep an eye on the front of the pack. I mean, I have other admins with me, but that's why I always keep it as a default. Bruce, are you in the feature? Bruce, are you in the feature? Oh, you are? Oh yeah, you've got that damn white car now. Alright, you guys, those of you guys who are going to be in the dash, the top 2 from the 4 heat races, I will be calling out your guys' starting positions as soon as this B main is over. So you 8, as soon as this B main is over, you need to hop into your cars because we'll be getting you out on the track for the warm-up. Everybody else, please stay off the track. Can you do that for me, Kale? Yeah, you see... Yeah, randomizerlist.org or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, just put the top 2 from the 4 heat races, hit random, and that'll be the starting lineup. I probably should have tightened my car up mechanically, but I did not do that. I just changed the wing. All I did was change my wing angle. I didn't even, yeah, I didn't tighten it up at all. I didn't touch that. Yep, good luck. I better not only have 1 lap of fuel left. I like 9 gallons in there. Six laps. My car is so loose off the corner. I'm falling like a stone. Oh my god, and I got another freaking 2 laps to go. Son of a... Whew. I can't believe I made the feature. My god. Alright, trophy dash, or dash, guys. Trophy dash. Dash, guys. Hoffman, Gray, Stevens, Janes, Sherman, King, Apollo, Royal. Get out on the track there, guys. Front row, Kenny Hoffman, just pull up there, coming out of turn 2, and wait for everybody to line up behind you. Alright, you can start going now. Kenny, you can start pacing. Okay, Stevens, Jane, Sherman, King. No, we're going to go next time by. Middle of 3 and 4, next time by. All right, you guys, 6 laps. There's no cautions. We're just going to race it out to the end. Good luck. Good luck, guys. Yes, they are king of dirt there, Keith. Some meter. Sorry guys, I gotta keep track of the laps. White flag, this time by a white flag. Checkered flag, you guys, checkered flag. Hoffman, Ray, Outlaw, Royer. Hollow, Royer. King. Ah, dang it. I hit the wrong button again. James and Sherman. All right, you guys, I got Hoffman, Gray, Paulo, Royer, King, James, Sherman. Who went out last? Justin or Lane? Yeah, Lane and then Justin. Okay. We're gonna actually go 30 wing because I'm gonna try to run the bottom. We're gonna actually try lowering the tire pressures too. We're gonna try something. I mean, what do I got to lose? I'm starting like last. All right, you guys. So the first 4 rows, we have Kenny Hoffman, Rylan Gray, Shea Paulo, Trevor Royer, Brady King, Zach James, Justin Sherman, and Lane Stevens. Those are the first 4 rows. You guys are going to set yourself here on the pace lap. We will clear the black flags when we go green. You can Yeah, hashtag or hashtag exclamation point clear all. Yeah. All right, you guys. First 4 rows look good. 30 laps. We're going green next time by. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, Paul, I actually really like the wing sprints. The wing sprints are one of the main reasons that SSR exists. The reason why I get to do this for a living is is largely due to the wing sprint cars. But the way that they are right now, I'm just, when this update came out, I was a huge fan of it. And as these exploits have been popping up and all this crap, where, god dang it, people are running basically, it's like a big block mod, you know what I mean, the way that you're driving it, I don't like them. And I haven't been racing them ever since that started happening. Oh, you're good, Bruce. Yeah, no, that's no, you're good, man. I just haven't been messing with them because of that, so yeah, no problem, Eric. Glad to help, man. That's why we do this, There's 2 drop weeks, I believe. Yeah, you'll be fine, man. There's 2 drop weeks, and then we've also got 2 off weeks. You're good. You got an extra one afterwards. And for those of you guys who are new, double file restarts, we have 3 cracks at a double file restart. If we don't get it done after that, we go to single file. Up. That's good, Eric. I mean, that's why we do it. You know what I mean? That's why we started doing this. It was just to help people. Um, but yeah, I mean, sorry, what those guys are talking about here. That's just, you know, what we do. I mean, it's just what we've been focusing on is the community. And you know, the thing with sim racing is that sorry, Brady, this thing's acting all weird telling me to go different places, man. I think we're good now. The thing with sim racing is that we want it to be as realistic as possible, right? That's why we call it sim racing. That's why we don't, it's not a game, right? It's not an arcade game, right? It's sim racing. We're trying to simulate real world racing to the best that we possibly can, right? With you know, being on a computer. And the thing with that is it's hard. It's really hard. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to it. Even with the sprint cars, if you look at the wing sprint cars right now and take that exploit setup out of the equation, right? And just look at it in terms of the, you know, normal setups and stuff like that. And in the stripped down version that we have of the car, right? Because it's not like we have to block these things and put the Jacob's ladder in and square it up and all that stuff like that. You know, we're not doing any of that stuff. iRacing, you know, basically has the car already set like that, and we just got to do shocks, bars, torsion stops, that type of thing. So, even that, to the average person, right? That's a lot. It's difficult. Most people don't know how to tune a race car with shocks, right? Even simple two-way shocks like we've got with these. Most people don't know, you know, the difference in torsion bars, or what does tilt do to the car versus reverse split, or, you know what I mean? Like, most people don't know that. And so it's a fine line to have something that is simulating, right? Trying to provide this real world experience while making it to where people can have fun and enjoy it. And that was the whole reason we started doing all this stuff, man, was because when I finally kind of, because I did real life sprint car racing for years, not as a driver, as a mechanic. And when I finally figured out, like, you know, what these things wanted and how to set them up and tune them and stuff like that, and started winning races, and I only won a few. It's not like I was just picking them up and putting them down. But people were always asking for help. So it was like, all right, here's how to do it, you know, and it just went from there. So now it, you know, it is what it is today because of that. And so it's cool when I get a message like yours saying, hey man, stuff helps, thank you. Like, that's the whole reason we do it, man. It makes it that much better. I'm just going through the middle. That's what I set my car up for it. Yeah, Eric, racing's one of those things that you never stop learning, right? You never stop learning. And you can even look at wing sprint cars today, right? Wing sprint cars today compared to when I worked on them and set them up, consistently, right? When that was what I was doing, right? I mean, it was 20 years ago, more than that now, 22 years ago. And someone is knocking on my freaking office window, and I'm sure it's my wife. But if you look at the sprint cars the way they were then compared to how they are now, they're basically the same thing. Setups are the big thing that's changed is like the shocks are definitely different now. Back then, we were still running like two-way adjustables, kind of what we have on iRacing, where now they're running, the adjustments on them are much more. They have the, you got your low speed and high speed, you got your digressive shocks and blow-offs and all those different things like that. So that's definitely come a long way. But for the most part, everything else is basically the same, or you block them the same. The torsion bar combinations are going to be pretty close to the same as they were back then. I'm fairly certain that I could probably take some of the base setups that we used to run then and put them on cars today, and they'll probably still work. They might not be the best, but it'll be a starting point. But even with that, you're still constantly learning, because especially on something like dirt, where the track itself is going to change from night to night, let alone, season to season, year to year. And then if you look at something like asphalt, right? You look at like a NASCAR or obviously F1, those guys are basically driving space shuttles. So, I mean, those cars are so advanced and it's insane. But, like NASCAR, for example, right? Those cars are constantly improving and changing. I shouldn't say improving, but updating and changing and stuff like that. So they will, you're always going to be learning, always. Well, thanks, Banksy. I'm glad it worked for you, man. I really am. Yeah, before gas shocks. William, when I was working on sprint cars and midgets, I got my start with a team that was here local, where I live here in California. A guy by the name of Ron Matthews. His son raced Outlaw karts with us. And we went back to the Chili Bowl. Me, Ron, Shane, Brad, Sweet, and Larry. And Shane was only like 14 or 15 or something like that. And Ron was wanting to get him into midgets. And got him into midgets. And I started working on them. I started learning. So that was with Shane. And the guy that we had started with, he made the deal with, was a guy by the name of Terry Caves. Terry was pretty big out here on the West Coast and nationally too with USAC. He had a lot of big guys that would come through and race for him. He was like Terry was like, he would hire like mercenaries. So he would always go for like the owner's championship before we started running for him consistently. he would always be going for like the owners championship out in what, like BCRA or USAC Western States. So he'd have like Kenny Schrader, Ronnie Day, Tony Stewart, you know, he'd have guys like that that would come through and run, you know, a race here, a race there, you know, just that type of stuff. And he was good. I mean, he knew his stuff. Terry was really good with the midgets. And Terry was really good friends with the McMillans, Duke and Scotty McMillan. And they're on the West Coast at that time for wing sprint cars, they knew their stuff. They were really good. Their driver was Tim Kading. And so when we started doing the midgets with Terry and stuff, we got in with McMillans, and so we started doing sprint car stuff with McMillans also. And so I used to go to the races. Me and Shane would go with McMillans with Duke and Scotty. We'd actually hop in the hauler and we'd go down to like Hanford or Paris or something like that, Calistoga. And you know, we would be there when they would be running, when Tim was driving for them. And I just soaked up everything I could like a sponge, man. I did. And Tim Kading actually ran our, Ron had bought a brand new beast dirt midget for Shane. Shane had been running, because Terry didn't run beast cars, he ran what he called lightning chassis, and it was basically a stealth chassis that he would take and kind of like modify. And Ron had went out and bought a brand new beast, and so Tim was running the beast at Chili Bowl. We had four cars that first year that we ran Chili Bowl. That was a lot of work, dude. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, dude. I mean, I did it for years, man. It was really cool, dude. You know, we won races, and you know, I got to travel around and do it, and I would be cutting class in high school so I could go out to the shop and work and stuff. And back then, when I got to my senior year, we had work experience in school, so I was on half days. Well, Ron was my boss, working on the race car. So that was my job. I was a mechanic on a race team. And so I would leave school after fourth period. I would go out to the shop and I would work every day for like, you know, 6, 7, 8, however many hours we needed to work on it that week or that day. And that was my work experience, man. And it was cool. It was a lot of fun, dude. I really enjoyed it. So whew. Brad Sweet used to live with me. Oh, really? Yeah, I raced Outlaw karts with Brad Sweet. He was pretty young. I only ran a couple years against him. Because when he was like, I mean, dude, he was young. He was running like mini sprints. Like he hopped out of the Outlaw cart and started running mini sprints and stuff like that. So, but someone's listening to my live stream and it's echoing in the Discord. But yeah, he went back to Chili Bowl with us, and I'm sure he won't remember me. You know, there was a group of us that would hang out when we would go to like Calistoga or Silver Dollar Speedway, because that's like only 40 minutes away from where I live. When the Outlaws would come to town, you know, we would always go to like all the tracks around here. And there was a group of us. It was, you know, me and Josh and Heath and Hank and Brian and Ryan and Zach and, you know, I mean, just a bunch of people. So, but yeah, he was the first driver that I ever saw, and he was just a little kid. He was not very old. He maybe 10 years old. And he was the first driver that I ever saw, the first person I ever saw in a race car where I watched him and I was like, I don't know what it is, but that kid's different. Like, there's just something about him that's different. The way that he could control that car. Now, mind you, you're talking about an Outlaw kart, but it was nuts, man. He was so good. His car control was so good. He was running he was running box stocks, which back then there was only 3 classes in the Outlaw karts here at Cycleland Speedway. There was box stocks, which is like a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton motor. They had the 125s, it was a 125cc 2-stroke motorcycle engine. Usually it would be like a Honda CR 125 or a Kawasaki KX 125. And then you had the open class, which was it was a Honda CR 500 2-stroke or a Kawasaki KX 500 2-stroke. They were fast. And Brad Sweet, and back then they called him BK Sweet. He was running box stocks. Well, he had an older brother named Derek Sweet, and Derek's like my age because I actually played football against him. High school football against him. And Derek was running like the 125s. Well, something happened. I can't remember if Derek got like hurt in a football game or if he got hurt in a race or just didn't want to do it anymore. I don't know exactly what happened. It was so long ago. But like all of a sudden one week, Derek's not racing. Brad's in Derek's car in the 125s. And he goes out and like his first race, and dude, he's just putting it on people. It was nuts, dude. Like, you would have thought he'd been running those cars like not just all season, but for like the last 2 seasons. You're like, damn, that kid is like good. Like he's got something. You know what I mean? Like, you could just see he had talent, man. It was crazy. So now to see him as a, you know, what is it, 3-time World of Outlaws champion, I mean, that's just, it's friggin' awesome, man. To have raced against 2 of the best dirt drivers in the world, and granted, both of them used to kick my butt every time I was on the track with them. It was never even close. I never even competed with them. Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet, like those 2 guys, it was pretty awesome, man, to race Outlaw karts and to see those 2 kind of come up. And obviously, like I said, they're 2 of the best dirt drivers in the world, right? You can make the argument that they are the best, right? So I mean, it's pretty crazy. Okay. NARC, Outlaw, Volusia, 5. 22. Okay. Bam. Man, that took a long time because our big block race is in like 5 minutes. Yeah, it's in like 5 minutes. Wow. Okay, so yeah, he does have freakish ability. He does. He's got talent, man. He's good, dude. He's good. What's up, David? Yeah, I know Blake Majulis. Well, I know who Blake Majulis is. I don't know him. I've never talked to him. He wouldn't know me if he tripped over me in the street. But yeah, I know who Blake Majulis is. Yeah, he's a hell of a sim racer, man. Hell of a driver. He's good, really good. Yeah. Yamaha karts here in Florida. Yeah, karts are a lot of fun, man. I want to get my son into karts. He wants to do karts. The problem is he wants to do karts, he wants to do motocross, he wants to do four-wheelers, he wants to do everything. And I'm like, look, dude. we we ain't that loaded, buddy. Not loaded at all, but we ain't daddy ain't rolling like that. So gonna have to pick one. So I would like to get him into karts, outlaw karts. Will I? I don't know. His mom's not a fan of it. His mom does not want him. She thinks racing's dangerous, and it is, but it's also really, really safe. Any sports. I blew my knee out playing high school football, right? Like, I mean, I wrecked my race car a ton of times. You know what I mean? I got more hurt playing organized sports than I did racing. So it's just whatever. But thanks, Ed. Yeah, I honestly, I didn't even see where I finished. I was just driving and talking. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, big blocks are in like 3 minutes. Oh, wow, I finished 7th? Three minutes? Awesome. A lot of cars wrecked, though. So. Do I ever go to the NARC races now? No, I don't. To be honest, I didn't know. I didn't even know NARC was still around. I didn't know it was still around. Yeah, what'd you have your nose wing at? I know it's not popular, but like I actually ran my nose wing at 30 that last. I set it up to just run right through the middle, and I had my nose wing at 30, and the front end didn't push. Yeah, I was running the free SSR setup, but I started with that for the base for Volusia, the free SSR Volusia setup, and then I just moved the right rear end, moved the left rear out, and yeah, adjusted my wings. So I had it at 30. I had my nose at 30 and my top wing at 30. But like I said, I set it up to run right through the middle of the slick. That's where I just ran. But yeah, I was gonna say I didn't even know that the real NARC, the Northern Auto Racing Club, I didn't even know it was still around. NARC was really big when I was a kid. I used to go watch them all the time, and when we were doing the 410 sprints, they never, it wasn't, they didn't call it NARC anymore. It was, they kept changing the name of the West Coast tour. You know what I mean? Like it was NARC, and then it was like, King of the West, and then it was the California Golden State Challenge. Like they kept having all these weird names. And so after years, when I was done out of race and stuff like that, I was like, I didn't even know NARC was around anymore. And so when we started a league, I was like, hey, I'm just going to call it the National Auto Racing Club after because I used to love the NARC cars. And then it wasn't until this like last year, Bruce was like, hey, did you know NARC's still around? I'm like, no, I didn't know. didn't even know they were still racing. So carts are good for learning. The speed of carts, because you're so low to the ground, the power to weight ratio is actually very close to a sprint car. If you think about it, like the open carts out here, that they're running at like Cycling, for example, they're probably like 60, 65 horsepower, somewhere right around there. And the cart weighs with the driver, 350 pounds. You know what I mean? Like when you think about 350 pounds, 65 horsepower, right? And then you compare it to like a 360 sprint car, right? Where you've got, 700 horsepower, right? With, 1,600 pounds or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the power to weight ratios are actually close. Now, obviously, they're way different. But in terms of that sense of speed, the hand-eye coordination, being able to actually being able to feel the car. One of the things that karts are incredible for is developing that seat of the pants feel. Because you're so low to the ground, the rear tires are right behind you, the motor's right next to you, right? Like you really get that seat of the pants feel. So that's one thing that they're really good for. Now, one of the things that they're not really good for, though, is the fact that there's no suspension on them. Like I remember my buddy Josh, he's one of my best friends, phenomenal outlaw kart driver. The first time he raced something with the suspension, he was like, dude, this sucks. Like he was just like, it's so different. He ran a dwarf car. He went and ran the dwarf car nationals. One of the guys that we had raced outlaw karts with had a dwarf car and was like, hey, I can't run this night, run it for me. And Josh was like, all right. And he had never ran anything with the suspension before, right? So now you're talking about you got to get the car in and you got to get that thing set on the suspension. So it's just totally different. So that's one of the big downfalls of karts. But if you look, you go to like Europe, right? Dude, they're running karts and that's your ticket to F1. Now, obviously you got to go through, form, F4, F3, the whole ladder that they've got. But I mean, like it starts in karts. Like that's what they're doing, is karts. So they are definitely a good learning tool. Oh, Ryan, is that what happened? I was wondering what happened because it looked like all of a sudden, and I didn't know if it was like net code on my side or what, but all of a sudden it looked like the car just like shot, like, you know what I mean? And at that point, I was so far back. I mean, you were running up towards the front. I was in like 18th or something. So remember if this is my Eldora set or not. Yeah. Need one for what? For big blocks? Oh no, I'm just gonna run last season's insider setup. I'm good. All my setups are in my head, Rylan. I can't drive these damn things, but I can set them up. Yes, exactly. But that's a good thing. That's how these things are fast. That's why these cars, even in real life, that's why these cars, when the track slicks off, they get faster. Blake and I run flat cars. Oh, nice. Have a good one, man. Yeah, Jezza, I enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back, though. I'm glad to be back. We got I got a lot of really, really cool stuff planned. And so I'm really excited to get to it, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I was saying earlier, the start of the first race, I invested about, it's probably close to like $3,000 now, in production, video production, you know, cameras, lenses, all kinds of stuff, audio, a bunch of stuff. So I've got something really big, really cool planned. I'm hoping it turns out as awesome as I'm wanting it to be. We'll have to wait and see, but hopefully it will, because I can promise it'll be like nothing else out there. Nobody else will be doing it. Nobody else is going to do what I'm going to do. Not even close. No one else even thought of it. No one would even think of to waste their time on it. So hopefully it'll be fun. New to iRacing, still rookie, thinking of setting up a rookie classic race. Just keep them in. Oh, thanks, Sean. Yeah, you know, some people are like that. You know, unfortunately, that's just, yeah. And it's not, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, and look, I mean, I'll be the first one to say, you know, there's some in the sim racing space that, I mean, they're like keyboard warriors on steroids. Like, I mean, like they're like super toxic. But for the most part, man, overall the community as a whole, and I don't just mean like the SSR community, but like, have a good one, man. But like the actual entire sim racing community as a whole is pretty good. But yeah, it can be discouraging. You think one of the guys under 16 could have a shot at the Chili Bowl? Maybe, Graham. Chili Bowl is one of those races that, even as good as you are, there's always a luck factor, right? There just is. Right? I mean, as flawless as Kyle Larson has been, right, on over the last 2 years, or when Christopher Bell was dominating it, right? Or Rico Abreu or Kevin Swindell, right? When he won all those in a row. You know what I mean? Like, you can go out, set fast time, win your heat race, win the qualifying night, win the, you know what I mean? Like, you can do it all and be upfront, but there's still a luck factor to it because you're talking about so many cars on that tiny indoor track. And so, you know, somebody under 16, like, could they do it? Yeah, man, if they've got the talent, they've got the speed, you know, and they might catch a break or two, they absolutely can. So, you know, I think anything's possible, but it's gonna be tough, you know what I mean? Me and Keith we're doing our tomorrow in the podcast, we're gonna do our Chili Bowl draft where we're gonna pick our 5 drivers for the Chili Bowl. So gonna be a tough task to beat Grant and Wyndham. Damn it, Keith, those guys are on my list of potentials. Grant and Wyndham. Been fighting a loose car all day in the 360s at Fairbury, or less tight getting in, which is causing a loose exit. So Eric, like I said before, like I was talking earlier about the wing, a lot of people they'll message me and they'll say, hey, I'm moving the wing back more and more and more to tighten up the car, but it's just getting worse. It's getting more and more loose. That's what you've got going on. So the number one thing when it comes racing in general, but like dirt racing especially in the wing cars, man, it is all about corner speed, right? How fast can you get to that corner? And your corner speed is 90% entry. You get that entry right, everything else falls into place. It really does. So always look at the entry. If you're loose on exit, you want to ask the question, what's going on my entry? If I'm tight, then what's typically happening is you're tight going in, you're putting a bunch of wheel into it, and the car's snapping loose. That's what's happening. So what I would do if you're loose on exit is and tight on entry, I'd loosen up your entry. Loosen up that entry, man. Loosen that thing up. Move that left rear in a little bit, maybe add a little bit of stagger, move the right rear out, right? You could tie down the left rear shock some more, you know, increase that left rear rebound. You know, there's a bunch of ways to do it, but I would loosen up that entry. Graham, we usually me and Keith have been pretty consistent at our recording time on Thursdays. We've been recording it usually around 1 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern. And so I try to have it out by Thursday, which is tomorrow, around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern. It usually takes us, you know, the episode that we record, it's usually about an hour to an hour and a half long. And then it takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to edit it. Because I listen to the whole thing back to make sure that everything's good. And then I edit it and get it up. So usually, like I said, around 5 o'clock Eastern is when I would do it. We'll have it up. Yeah, I know your picks already, Keith. I know, man. No problem, Eric. All right, I got to do the driver's meeting. All right, everybody, we're going to do the driver's meeting here. Thank you guys very much for coming out for the first week here of NARC and the big blocks. We do have some new drivers here, so I'm going to kind of go over everything just so, you know, everybody knows what's going on. So, you guys, first and foremost, those of you who have been here, but also those of you who are new, this league is built on mutual respect, you guys. So, be respectful to one another. Don't call people out on chat. Don't yell and scream at people. You know, no cussing, none of that stuff. We just don't do it, all right? You want to get mad at home, yell at your dog, whatever. I don't care. Just don't do it in the chat, all right? We don't allow it, all right? So just please don't do it, okay? Just be a big, you know, headache. So just, yeah, don't do it. Now, on the initial starts and restarts, it is going to be on the leader. Leader can go in the middle of turns 3 and 4. We want the pace truck also off the track, you guys. So make sure that the pace truck is off the track before you go. Here, you know, that thing kind of dives off there, right there at the end of 3 going into 4. So pace truck off. Once you're in the middle of 3 and 4, then you can go. So you can leave a little bit of a gap between you and the pace truck. We do have some format changes to the big blocks this season. If you guys did not see that, it was posted in the Discord. So for the big blocks now, we're qualifying is the same. Heat races are the same, but the top 12 cars that are starting in the feature, they will all be randomly drawn for their starting spot in the feature. Also, we will no longer be running the alphabet soup constellations. We will be running the stacked constellations or the single constellations. So we're kind of doing like the way that they do it in the actual Super Dirt Car series. So the top 12 cars starting in the feature will be redrawn. All right. I use a randomizer online. It's just randomizer.org. I put the top 12 names on it. I hit randomize and boom, it gives me the names. Okay. So I will be calling that out before the start of the feature. We will set the lineup on the pace lap. Okay. And then when we go green, I will just clear all the black flags right when we cross the line, so no problems, with that moving forward, okay? Remember, we do have the double file restarts. We have 3 cracks at a double file restart. Now, remember, that's 3 cracks at the restart, so it's 1 on the initial start and then 3 more attempts at it. After that, if we cannot finish this race with the double file restarts, then we'll just go to single file, okay? Also remember, you guys, there's no more fast repair. And for those of you who are new, we do not have a fast repair. Please do not, if you get towed or anything like that, do not exit the pits under green. If you are, more than 3 laps down, your night is done. Okay, so you're just, please don't come back out onto the track anymore if you're more than 3 laps down. All right. Lastly, we also do not clear black flags. Okay, so you guys, if you jump the start or anything like that and you get a black flag, you got a black flag. We're not going to clear it. Now here's the deal: if somebody gets loose in front of you, or there's a wreck on a restart or something like that, and you're just trying to dodge the chaos and you get a black flag for that, that we will clear. But please understand, every race gets reviewed. So if you're like, hey Tommy, man, I had to avoid this car and I got a black flag, and then I go back and review it and it's just you jumping the start, you're going to be penalized for that. Okay, so just please know that. I don't expect anybody to take a shot or anything, but just so you know. Okay, so you guys, that's pretty much anything, or pretty much everything. Sorry you guys, I'm running on like 2 hours sleep for the last 2 days, so that's pretty much everything. Now before we open up the track, does anybody here have any questions? All right, you guys, track is open. Get out there, run it in. Good luck. Okay, sorry about that. Had to do the driver's meeting. Let's get this put back on the driving so we can actually see it. And I think I definitely saw. Okay. Oh, I gotta change that. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna run the crap out of it. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Nope, that's just the first free one that I found. Okay. Let's see how off my pace is in the big block. Because I actually had 40 laps of practice in the sprint car. I've had no laps of practice in this. Whoops. Hello, wall. I don't know. Maybe. I set the weather for this race 3 weeks ago before I went to Mexico. It does change, yes. What was that? Nothing. Hung out with my family. The wind is only 3 miles per hour. Yeah, thanks, Eric. Have fun, man. We're gonna do 5, Keith. I think we're gonna do 5. Ah, okay. I do not know. Do not know how qualifying's gonna go here. Hopefully good. Okay. I think the line is top 1 and 2, and then like bottom or middle 3 and 4. I think it's top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. If I'm remembering correctly. Damn it. So yeah, Keith, we're gonna do I think 5 picks. Maybe we'll do 7 because there's just so many entries. But we'll do 5 or 7, and then the way that we're gonna do it is that we're gonna try to get the lowest number. So we're gonna use um, Saturday's final results, right? Basically, we're gonna start, from first and go all the way, I'll just score, all the way through the G main, however many mains there are, right? And that'll be 1 to 380 or whatever it is. And then just take them and add them all up, and whoever has the lowest number will mean that their drivers did the best, and that's who wins. And then we'll do kind of like a bonus where if your driver, wins, if you have a driver who wins a prelim night, that'll be 1 point that you'll subtract, right? Or if they transfer straight from the prelim night to the Saturday feature, that'll minus a point, something like that. So there'll be a couple of different things in there. So kind of earn, or subtract points. But yeah, that's how we'll do it. So it'll be fun, man. It'll be an interesting way to do it and talk about the Chili Bowl, just because there's so many drivers, man. You know what I mean? There's just so many. I remember the year that we went to the Chili Bowl to watch. The year that we went to watch, it was. I remember that was like. It was like, a record. You know what I mean? Like it was like the third year in a row they've broke the record on the number of entry, stuff like that. And now it's like double that. You know what I mean? Like that was a big deal, and it was like 200 entries. Now it's almost 400. It's just nuts. Oops. Wrong one. There we go. That's better. So. We got Tiny. Stahey. I don't know how to say his last name. I should Oh, someone climbed the wall. I'll be right back. Actually, didn't have to go that far. Just had to get my phone. My grandparents are Laney and Beverly Edwards, co-promoters and creators of the Chili Bowl. No way, man. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, man. That's really cool, dude. To come up with, to have that kind of vision, to come up with an event like that, because that's the thing, the Chili Bowl's not a race, it's an event, right? Like, it's a happening. If you are a dirt racer, you're like, you run the Chili Bowl, right? Like if you are a dirt racer of any note, right? Like you're at the Chili Bowl. And it doesn't matter. You could be a modified driver, a sprint car guy, a midget guy, a silver crown guy, right? Like a NASCAR driver. Like you could be a number of things, and it's like, dude, I'm gonna go run the Chili Bowl, right? Like you're at the Chili Bowl, and what that event has become, it's incredible. I mean, it's the biggest midget race of the year, right? That one sec, guys. Hello? Alright, sorry about that. My wife's like, not seen me call? You see how many times I called you? I'm like, no. I'm live and I had my headphones on. I didn't know, I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, Kyle, I had heard that, and obviously that was just what I had heard. Somebody had told us the story about that. And for some reason, I want to say it was Terry that told us that story when we were running it that first year. But I remember hearing something about how they ran it the first time and it almost didn't happen, and I remember now, because the year that we had gone, what year was that we ran it? The first time we ran it. We went to the Chili Bowl a couple times. It must have been 99. Is it 99 or 2000? It was like 99 or 2000. We went a bunch of times, but that first year that we ran it, I can't remember. Because I think it was like 98 was the first time I went, and then it was either 99 or 2000 the first year that we ran it, where we took the 4 cars. But I remember hearing that story because like they broke the record for entries or something like that, and somebody was saying like, that's incredible because they almost didn't do it again after the first 2 or first 1, or, you know, there's some kind of story like that. So yeah, it's, you know, to do something like that it's hard. The amount of risk that you have to take to do something like that is incredible. People don't realize it. And look, I am, what I'm trying to do with sim racing, right? There's no comparison to what your grandparents did. There's not, right? If the Chili Bowl is Manhattan Beach, right? I am nothing but a grain of sand, right? Like that's the level that they're at. That being said, what I'm trying to do, the amount of risk and like stress and work that I'm having to put into it just for what I'm trying to do with sim racing, it's insane. So to think about putting on that kind of event and what it's become, it's incredible, man. It really is. People who do that, it's just, they don't get enough credit. And, you know, for them, I mean, they're obviously, that's huge, right? Like I said, it's the biggest midget race of the year. It's like a crown jewel of not just midget racing, but of dirt racing, right? If you win the Chili Bowl, man, like, you're a big deal, right? Like, you could look at someone like Kevin Swindell, and obviously Kevin Swindell had an accident and, you know, cut his career short. But people could be like, well, he never won an outlaw race. No, he didn't. But look at how many times he won the Chili Bowl in a row, right? What did he win it, like 4 straight years or something like that? Like, it's incredible. You know what I mean? Like that, it's such a big event. And there's people all over the world, right? But just here, if we talk about just here in the U.S., right, that are your local track promoters or people like that trying to put on events and shows and stuff like that. And it's so much work. And like I said, it's so much risk. And most people have no idea. They have no clue the time and effort that goes into it. It becomes such a labor of love. Hey, what's up, Justin? Oh no, definitely, Kyle. The look the 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 World Championship series that I'm working on right now, that I'm trying to put together, um, and all of the other stuff that I'm doing to go along with it, right? The the docu series, the social media, the videos, like all the stuff I'm doing along with it. My goal the first year that we do it, if we do it this year, and that's the plan is to do it, if everything goes well these first few months here, is not even to break even. If I break even, that will be a huge success. Now, when I say break even, I mean just for that. If I break even, that'll be a huge success. My goal is to not lose more than 50% of my investment. That's my goal, right? Because it's a long-term thing. It really is. But now, like you said, you're right. It is absolutely its own driving force. It's 100% organic. They don't have to do anything, right? It's not like the local dirt track who's like, hey, come and run our, summer nationals this weekend, right? At the local quarter mile, you know what I mean? For your chance to, winner gets $2,000, right? $500 to make the show, right? Like that, they don't have to do that. It's the freaking Chili Bowl. You know what I mean? When people are loading up Saturday after the final race, they're talking about, man, I can't wait to come back here next year. Like, I mean, it's, you know what I mean? It is completely 100% organic. They don't ever have to touch it or do. All they've got to do is make sure that they keep delivering a great product. And when you have that level of talent, that many drivers showing up, it like you said, it takes care of itself, man. It's incredible. I've been good, Justin. I just got back home late last night. So it's been a long day. Yesterday we came back from Mexico. So yesterday I got up, woke up about 7 a.m., packed the bags, got a bunch of stuff ready. We left at 2 p.m. local time where we were at. Where we were at in Mexico is 2 hours ahead of where I'm at now. But left about 2 p.m. for the airport. It's a 3-hour ride to the airport. So we got to the airport around 5. And then we waited. Our flight didn't even board until 8:30. So we sat in the airport for another 3.5 hours. But we had to make sure that we had to get there so early because to fly back to the U.S., you have to go through all these COVID protocols and stuff like that. And look, I'm not going to get into my thoughts on COVID just because the whole thing, in my opinion, has become so politicized and everything. Like, me personally, there's just no winning, no matter what your beliefs are on it. But for me personally, I think it's stupid that you have to do that, because if I were to drive across the border, I don't have to be tested. I don't have to be negative. What purpose, what's the point, right? Like, if you're really trying to keep people with COVID out, right, why is it that if you're on a plane, you have to test negative, but you can just drive right across the border and it's no big deal? So, I don't know, it's just, whatever. But anyways, so we had to get there hella early because we didn't know what to expect. We had taken our test the day before, and you know we had all of our paperwork and all stuff like that, and we didn't know what to expect. So we got there, and then of course we get there early. Everything goes just fine, and then it's like, all right, well, sweet. Now we're just gonna sit here and twiddle our thumbs, and so that's what we did, and then we finally, you know, got on the plane and left, and it was 9 o'clock when we took off, and we landed in Sacramento at 11 o'clock, 11:30, and we gained 2 hours coming back. It's like a 4-hour flight, and by the time we got through customs, got our bags, you know, all that stuff, and then made the drive home, it was like 1 something in the morning, and we got back, and I had actually slept a little bit on the plane, not much, but a little bit, probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I hate flying. I don't like it. I used to never have a problem with flying, and then I don't know what it is. After I had kids, I hate it. I absolutely hate it, man. So I take Xanax when I fly, and it kind of knocks me out. So I slept about an hour and a half, 2 hours on the flight. Well, by the time we got home, it was like 1 o'clock. I'm like awake. I was like awake. And so my wife and daughter, they went straight to bed. They were out like a light. I hopped in bed with my wife, and I lay there for what felt like forever, but it was only about 30 minutes. And then I finally fell asleep, and then I woke up like an hour later and couldn't go back to sleep. And so I got up and started working. Well, my son was in his room, and he had been, you know, he's got his Christmas presents that he got before we went to Mexico, and he hadn't had a chance to play with them yet or anything, his Lego toys and all that stuff. And so he heard me, oh. Damn it. Of course I have wheel damage. I got all kinds of damage. Damn it. That sucks. So, he was like, well, hey, I want to go with you. So he came with me. And yeah, I've been up all day. I've been up all day long. The gas for our heater in the trailer went out. It was gone, so I had to go get that. I had to go dump the tanks. When we were coming back yesterday, one of the family dogs died, unfortunately. Poncho. He was like 14 or 15. So I had to go take care of that today. I had to go bury him today. So that sucked. But yeah, it was just a long, busy day. I had like 20 boxes that I had to like open up from all of the camera and video production equipment, like all that stuff that I had ordered while I was gone, or that had shown up while I was gone. It's just been sitting here in my office, and so I had to like open all that stuff up and make sure that it was the correct stuff and that it looked good, you know, all that type of stuff. And so I spent a ton of time doing stuff like that today, and yeah, it was just a very busy day. And as you can tell, I'm like running on fumes right now, but it's all good. Can I race next race? Well, Justin, this is a league race. And when this is done, I'm going to be done for the night. So oh yeah, Kyle, anytime you put on a huge racing event or a series or anything like that, you've got to put up the money. You've got to. That's what attracts all the drivers. Jezza, I get really anxious when I fly now. I just get anxious. I don't know why, but I just get anxious. All right, you guys, so remember that it's not alphabet soup. The C main and the B main, both of them are transfers to the feature. So the top 4 out of each of these constellations will go to the feature. Okay, so I need to do this list real quick. So we have Jason, Chance, Greg, Tyler, Jeremy, whoops, Rylan, Jess, Devin, Blake, Jason, E, 9, 10, so 2 more. Jason B, Kenneth, and Kayla. So Jess, that's why I didn't have a good race. That's why I wrecked. I left it on the wrong view for you guys. That's what I get. I'm such an idiot. Chambers. Then we've got Caleb O. again. Crap, I forgot to, dang it. Can I copy that? No, I can't. God dang it. Oops. Oops. Then we have... Sorry guys, I gotta get this done. That Greg Keppel. Oops. chill. Then we have yep. No, there is no dash in these. We just do a redraw for the top 12. Yeah, flying does mess with your sleep. It does. And then especially when you don't sleep all day. And then also I had I was behind on my meds, my medicine. So I couldn't get my obviously I can't get a refill in Mexico for it. And so the last couple of days I hadn't been taking a full dose, and so that was starting to kind of mess with me too. And yeah. Alright, I need to get a top 4 to make the feature. Of course, I spin out, and the guy that I hit keeps going. I must have used it all up in the 410 race. Can't stay off the wall by myself. Yeah. This sucks. I need 3 spots in 5 laps, and I'm doing stupid stuff like that. There's no way I'm going to catch those guys. I wouldn't be. Well, that sucks. Not the way I wanted to end my night. I mean, the only thing worse than not making the feature is having to admin the feature when you don't make it. Oh well, it was my fault. I shouldn't have screwed up in the heat race. I was starting third and I messed up, so that's on me. Nobody's fault but my own. All right, you guys, we're going to run about a minute and a half of the warm-up before we advance it over to the feature. Also, top 12, if you have not looked in the race chat, I posted your starting position for the feature, so make sure you check that out. I will announce it when we line up for the feature. Well, looks like you guys get to hang out with me while I admin this last race. Yeah, there's a midget non-wing race tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's the best night of the week. If I could, meaning like if it didn't directly compete with what I'm doing already with the dirt side, if I had enough people to do it, personally, I would run asphalt. I would run NARC asphalt leagues along with the dirt. We would have the dirt Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the same exact times I would also run asphalt. And I would run asphalt stuff on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and Thursday night dirt would be the only dirt that I ran. That would be the only dirt that I ran. With the exception of the dirt late models every now and then, because I do really like the late models. I do like the late models. I like the big blocks too. I would run those occasionally, but for the most part, midgets, non-wing sprints, like those are the two dirt cars that I love, and really what I look forward to. The rest of this stuff, you know, the wing sprints, I do like the late models some. They are fun. Big blocks are fun too, but for the most part, yeah, if it wasn't my league, I wouldn't be running. I would not run it every week during the league. I would be running asphalt. I was just telling Bruce tonight while I was in Mexico. I was like, you know, I think we could run some asphalt. I think I can run I think we can run an asphalt series, Bruce. I'm like, I think it can be done. So we obviously wouldn't directly compete with our dirt stuff because that would be just dumb. But yeah, I've really thought about maybe doing an asphalt series on like Monday nights or something like that. Because that's when it would have to be. It would have to be on Monday nights. Friday nights I work. And I work at Amazon. Although I don't need to work at Amazon. I'm still working there just because I can make an extra $2,000 a month and kind of pick and choose the days that I work and whether or not I work. You know, I can take the days off or work them if I just want a little extra money, and for a couple extra $1,000 a month, you know what I mean? And you know, I literally take all the money and invest it into SSR, but it lets us do more cool stuff. So it's like, yeah, well, why not? But Friday nights, yeah, I'm usually working on Amazon, and if I'm not working on Friday night, Friday night's one of those nights that once I hit like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, like I'm done. Like I'm done with the computer. I mean, Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, I'm on the sim from 3 a.m. till like 11 a.m. because I'm doing all the insider stuff. But like in terms of the night racing and stuff like that, I'm done. I'm just done. So yeah, maybe Monday nights we will do that. All right, you guys. So when the pace truck pulls out, we are going to just reorder the front 6 rows. If the pace truck gets far ahead while we're doing this, it's okay. We all know how to pace, so we can do it. It'll be fine. Remember, we have Jess Chambers and Jason Butterfield on the front row. Then it's Caleb O'Gwin and Kenneth Borey. Then Greg Keppel and Jason Steinhe. Then we've got Blake Deppinit. Please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, because I'm sure I am. And Tyler Shell. Then Jeremy Prey, Chance Carr, Rylan Gray, and Devin Thompson. All right, you guys, lineup is good. I will be clearing all the black flags. We're going to be going green this time here in the middle of 3 and 4. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, you guys. No. Yeah. Yeah, hold your positions. Yes, if everybody got through that. Yeah. Yeah. You guys, right now, just get behind the pace truck. Just get behind the pace truck. We will handle iRacing. Just get behind the pace truck. All right, you guys. So the front 6 rows are going to be the same, except for the 2 drivers that are now missing. Jess, Jason B, Caleb, Kenneth, Greg, Jason, Blake, Tyler, Jeremy, Chance, Ryland, Devin. That's fine. All right, you guys, we're going green. We're going to clear all blacks. We're going to have to change that. We're going to have to add a green flag lap to set the field and then go green, because if there's a caution, it wants to revert back to the iRacing lineup, which is stupid because we didn't complete a green flag lap, so we got to change that. I got to remember to fix that. Thanks, David. I appreciate it, man. Get it, Ryland. Go, buddy, go. Hubbard. Frickin' Jason is so fast in these things, it's not even funny. Ah! You got to be right up on the cushion, man, but you catch that right rear quarter panel on that wall, dude, it just sucks you in. Devin said he might have hit somebody. It's a racing deal. You just turn the car. The guy lost some momentum, but it's going. That's the thing with these cars, man. With these and like the late models, the dirt late models, you can have a car next to you. If you turn in before they do, you'll hit them. Bam, you just hit them because these things are so long. Yeah, it's feature time, Lane. Rylan, you need to get some blue blocker glasses, man. You know the glasses that I'm wearing when I'm on my live stream? You see me wearing glasses? These aren't, my vision is perfect. I have perfect vision. I don't need them for that. They're blue light blocker glasses. So any computer screen, tablets, phone screens, anything like that, it has blue light, and it will strain your eyes if you're on the screen for too long. No. You'll still see the colors. It's just blue light. It's a type of light, but it can give you headaches. It can make you tired. Like if you look at screen or like, yeah. Yeah, they worked really well for me, man. They make a huge difference. Yeah, the good Lord did not bless me with height or rugged good looks, but I did get the ability to, the gift of gab, I guess. I can talk, and good vision. Those are the two things that the good Lord blessed me with, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it. Who was that 2-car? Why? Chance car. Chance is new. I think he's new in the league. I don't remember him running last season with us. I think he's a new driver. He's fast. I mean, he got right around Jason. Jason opened the door trying to make a move on Ryland, but he got around him, man. These cars are hard to pass in. That was actually probably the most shocking thing I noticed when no! No, no, no! Oh, Ryland, no! Damn. Oh, that sucks. That was the one thing that I was really shocked, because I'd never seen big blocks in real life before. I'd never seen them. I've said this 100 times before. I didn't know these cars existed until iRacing came out with them. I didn't even know they were a thing until we got Wheat Sport. We're good, man. It happens. When they came out with Wheat Sport, everybody was like, oh, big block modifieds are coming. Big block modifieds are coming. And I'm like, what the hell's a big block mod? I didn't even know what they were. And then I looked them up and saw them. I was like, oh, that'll be interesting. And the first time I drove them, I actually hated them. But the more I drove them, the more I liked them. Now I like them. But when we racing them, like, they're super hard to pass. Like, one little mistake and you lose a ton of momentum, and you know, it's like they're just, you got to be really consistent. Consistency is really key in these cars. I mean, it's key in all cars, but like really in these cars, like if you make a mistake, like it costs you. Like, I mean, look at what happened right there with Chance. He made one little bobble, Jason got around him and is now pulling away, you know. So when we went to the, whoops, no, I don't want spectator, I want spotter. When I went to the World Finals and watched these in real life, I was pretty impressed with how much in real life they actually race like this, in terms of like very close to one another. It's really hard to make a pass. Like it was pretty impressive, man. What's up, Tucker? How's it going? Hope your night's going good. Mine was I did okay in the sprint cars, barely made the feature, and was able to, what'd I get? I got a top 10, I don't remember where, 8th, 9th, something like that. I started last, I think, or next to last, and qualifying in my heat race sucked. I barely made it out of the B main. And then in the big blocks, I just stepped on it and screwed up. So, not all that great in the big block. So hopefully your night's going a little bit better than mine is here in the big blocks at Eldora. Oh, keep it off the wall, Kurt. I am going to be doing a lot more broadcasting this season too, so that's another thing. Because we lost our Tuesday night broadcaster, Casey Stodge, aka Big Bacon. That's how most of you guys will know him, Big Bacon. He moved, and so he couldn't broadcast for us anymore, which was a bummer because, I mean, one, I would rather race than broadcast, but two, he did a good job. I liked his broadcast. So yeah, starting next week, ESRN is going to be picking up a lot more broadcasts. We're going to try to cover all the series. Whiskey Oval covers the Wednesday Night Outlaws. Everything else, ESRN is going to be covering. So yeah, starting next week, I'll be doing a lot more broadcasting. Oh, Jason. Don't give Chance a chance. He's gonna get you. Man, that's gonna be they're coming right up on lap traffic with 2 laps to go, man. It's gonna get interesting. Chance is going to have... Oh, he hit the wall. Oh, bummer. Man, he might have had a shot. I don't know if he could have got around Jason, but he could have had a shot to make a move there. Because Jason's behind a wall of cars. Nice run, Jason. Jason did. I expect to see that every week next year next season in the official Steinhe when you're doing it for SSR, hopefully. All right, you guys, picture should be good. Thank you very much. Good race. On the dirt side, my 2 favorites are still my favorite's still the non-wing sprint car. But in terms of best cars on the service, I don't know, man. Right now, it's probably asphalt stuff. Yeah, the F1 cars are the new F1 cars are insane. They're incredible. I gotta tell you though, dude, I freaking love those Lotus 79s. Like, I love those cars, man. Yeah, I'm gonna start running. I actually worked out a schedule. I'm gonna try to run no less than two, and hopefully somewhere more like three or four officials a day. And I'm gonna be doing uh asphalt, oval, and road, with a couple of dirt races in there. So yeah, dude, and obviously Gran Turismo and Forza, and I was playing like the original ones, one and two, but like, I mean, obviously those are nothing like this, but that's what I started my racing on. I never played Assetto Corsa. The Gran Turismo and Forza were the ones that I had. That was like where I was at. I mean, other than the original NASCAR and NASCAR Racing 2, those were the first ever like sim racing games that I played. Was actually NASCAR and NASCAR Racing 2 back when it was Papyrus or Paperus or whatever the hell you say it. So, but yeah, I never Assetto Corsa. See, I've heard the drifting stuff is really, really cool, but like I said, I've never done it. But I was pretty happy to see because iRacing just made some, yeah, they made some acquisitions. There you go. God, I was gonna say acquisitions of some stuff. Why? Well, go out and beat Kyle Larson on Tuesday night, buddy, and that'll take care of itself. Yeah. Well, they've got that on the asphalt side. Yeah. Though they've got that on the asphalt side with what's his name? Majeski? Yeah. I mean, he's a legit asphalt driver. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, if I want to be good at real racing, I need to do iRacing. Yeah. 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 One of the everybody. Isn't there only like 7 people that work for iRacing? I mean, it's like a pretty small group, isn't it? There you go. Uh, well, you guys, that's gonna do it all for tonight. So, decent night in the night in the sprint cars. Like I said, not good in the big blocks, but hey, I guess I should have done 40 laps of practice in the big blocks like I did the sprint cars to get back in the groove of things. But but yeah, hopefully tomorrow I will be able to actually get some practice in. Hopefully I'll be able to actually get some practice in tomorrow for the midgets and the non-wing sprints. Where are we running tomorrow? Let me look real quick. I don't even know where we're running tomorrow. It's probably like Cedar Lake or something like that. Lanier. So we're running the midgets and the non-wings at Lanier. Are we running the same schedule across the board? Well, let me see here. Pretty close. So you have Lanier, then Lernerville, Knoxville, Lima, Cedar, Eldora, Bristol, IRP. We're going to actually run an asphalt sprint car race at IRP on March 3rd. I'm looking forward to that. Kokomo, Volusia. Oh, those two are different. The Grove in the midgets. That'll be interesting. Charlotte and then Lima and Eldora. The midgets are actually pretty fun at the Grove. They are. It's just that's a hard. The Grove's a hard track in the non-wing stuff, man. Midgets and non-wing sprint cars, especially the non-wing sprint cars. Dude, you got to pitch the car like halfway down the straightaway. Like it's crazy. Yeah. So Lanier. Well, I better get some practice laps in, because yeah. Gotta do good for non-wing Thursday. But yeah, you guys, that's gonna do it all for tonight, man. Thank you very much as always for joining me. It's like I said, it's good to be back. I will be putting out a YouTube video tomorrow. I actually started recording it today. I just didn't get it finished, but I'll be putting it out tomorrow. I got a ton of YouTube stuff coming. I got a ton of everything coming. So this next 6 or 8 weeks, just a ton of stuff, man, with the YouTube videos. We're gonna be wrapping up. I'm gonna be wrapping up the free asphalt masterclass that I've been doing. That kind of got put on pause when my wife got sick and everything that was going on with that. But she's better now, and you know, obviously we were in Mexico for 3 weeks. But yeah, she's better now, and we're home now. So I'll get that wrapped up too. I want to have that done before Daytona comes, because the last car that we're going to do in that master class is the next gen cup car. Hopefully they update it soon and put the new package on it. They haven't put the new package on. You know, NASCAR confirmed basically that they're going to be running 650 horsepower, 670 horsepower, something like that. And so we need to get that updated. So hopefully they get that updated soon. But yeah, we'll get that done, and then yeah, we gotta. And then yeah, like I said, I got a really big project. I don't want to talk about it right now, because like I said, I still got quite a bit of work I got to do on it. But yeah, we got a really big project that 2 really big projects that are going hand in hand. So if they work out really good, man, it'll be hopefully it'll be something. Hopefully it will be the start of something really, really big in the sim racing space. Hopefully. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know, but if I don't screw it up, it'll be big. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, you guys, thank you very much as always. Until tomorrow night, good luck, good racing, and take care.